Hello, my name's Joe Johnson and I've been actively engaged in research into natural remedies for over 20 years. If you've got a piercing infection, you need to really listen because this crucial short video will directly affect you. What I've discovered about piercing infections and stopping the infection quickly, it's sending shockwaves through the piercing community up and down the country. Because I'm going to show you how simple it is to quickly stop any of your piercing pain and discomfort, and how to heal your piercing infection without the need for expensive, useless and even dangerous drugs. Now, Emma Williams, the health editor on several respected health sites, she's urged me to share with you details of an astonishing discovery that I've made about piercing infection. One that gets rid of the infection faster than you thought possible, and in many cases almost overnight. So, if you've got a piercing infection, what's actually going on in your piercing? Well, right now as you watch this video, there's a raging biochemical war going on in your piercing. Specifically, bacteria are breeding inside, causing you extreme pain, discomfort and misery. And unless you find a way to kill the bacteria without damaging your immune system, then sooner or later you will end up ruining your piercing as well as risking your health and your life to blood poisoning. So before I show you a simple way to kill the bacteria, I want you to consider this. Normally, if you get bacteria in your piercing, your immune system will keep the bacteria under control and it will heal quickly and naturally. But if you've been stressed, maybe overworked, maybe taking drugs, including antibiotics, or you've let your diet slip a bit, then your immune system becomes slightly weaker. And that can be enough for the bacteria to get a grip inside your piercing. Once your piercing becomes infected, well, obviously then you've got a piercing infection, and then it's a different ballgame. You can have blood on your piercing, or it can become itchy, or you want to scratch it all the time, or the piercing may be inflamed or spongy, and it can be agony if the skin cracks. Either way, your piercing infection can be extremely painful and it'll linger for months. I mean, sometimes people put up with it for years. You need to get it treated. And to make things even worse, you are in a catch-22 situation. If you use antibiotics to kill the bacteria around your piercing, you're going to have to swallow them, which means that the whole of your immune system is now shocked and weakened even further. It's by the toxic impact of the powerful antibiotic chemicals. That's why antibiotics appear to work for a week or two, and then your piercing infection comes back again. Worse than ever sometimes. And some of these antibiotic side effects is genital and anal thrush, which can also weaken the skin around your piercing even further. And in case you're in any doubt about the dangers of these modern drugs, like antibiotics, according to a recent report by eminent doctors in the US, and you can see the proof of this below, the total number of people killed by conventional medicine like antibiotics is about 800,000 a year. That's men, women and children. That's about 2,000 people a day. Well, it's more. So it's now evident that the American medical system is the leading cause of death and injury in the United States. Now that's the eminent scientists saying that, not me. So, I was desperate to find a way of killing the germs in your piercing infection without harming your immune system. So I've seen so many people, lose their piercings completely because the infection just hasn't got, even after 6 or 7 rounds of antibiotics, they've ended up having surgery, very expensive and very painful surgery to try to sort out the damage. Believe me, it happens and it's tragic. And that's why I've done my research. See, human beings with piercings and piercing infection have been around as long as humans have been on this planet. But pharmaceutical companies have been around about 100 years, and they don't want you to know what your ancestors knew about piercing infections. So my first step in research is always to go back into history. Now, I read a lot, but I don't mean the usual herbalist books. I mean, I've got secret access to some of the best books on the planet. Books that are kept hidden away by rich collectors, private collectors, specialist reference libraries. Even drug companies have got amazing herbal remedy books, but they keep them locked away. And I've also got access to books that science believes are not worth looking at. Books written by people who've had zero medical qualifications, but who've lived in the wilds of Mother Nature all their lives, and they've had herbal remedies passed down from one generation to the next, because these remedies work. And it was in one of those books that I found the clues to an ancient cure for piercing infection. Clue number one was a Roman gladiator. Now listen to this. I discovered that every Roman gladiator had to ensure that he always had three things. His uniform of armour to protect him. It makes sense. Number two, he had a sword to attack his enemy. It makes sense. But number three, a small pouch of a concentrated herb, that if the gladiator was ever to receive a wound from a sword or a dagger or any other weapon, he was to rub the herb directly into the wound to prevent infection. Even the deepest sword wound would be filled with this herb because of its amazing abilities to kill bacteria. Now that's interesting. And this gave me the green light for further research. I began to see this herb everywhere in ancient manuscripts. And the most obvious and well-known clue was staring at me right in the face, and you'll know this. Clue number two is the birth of Jesus. Now, irrespective of your religious beliefs, the essence of this research holds true. That according to historical texts, when Jesus was born, he was visited by three wise men, and they presented him with gold, frankincense, and the third one gave him a herb called myrrh. That was the same herb that the gladiators was using. So I've discovered with my research that herb, myrrh, is the most powerful antibiotic in the ancient world. Irrespective of any religious beliefs, myrrh truly is an antibiotic fit for a king. And of course, I'd heard of this herb before and I've used it many times, but I had no idea it was such a powerful, natural antibiotic. It could be put directly into a sword wound or put directly into a piercing infection. Now, I knew up to now that most natural remedies for piercing infection are a waste of time. They're nothing more than mild antiseptic creams that simply did not work. And they call them goo and all that stuff, and it's all very nice, but it's not strong enough. You know, they sometimes help a little, but for piercing infection, they simply don't work. And as I say, they're just not strong enough. So don't risk your piercing to stuff that doesn't work. Now, I expected my research to last 6 to 12 months, but I had a 100% proven remedy in 6 weeks. Now, I wanted to test it for longer, but my conscience wouldn't let me, because every single client with a piercing infection was cured, sometimes within just a few hours. Now, in order to increase the antibiotic effect of the remedy, I added 3 other powerful, proven, natural antibiotic herbs to the myrrh. So the combined effect of these 4 herbs is unstoppable. And this remedy now, it's been proven countless times to cure piercing infection because it kills the bacteria and any yeast and molds around it, kills it all on contact. You simply massage a few drops of the remedy into the piercing infection and that's it. It'll take you about 5 seconds. And you do this 3 times a day. And that is it. No more pain, no more embarrassment hiding your scabby and weeping piercing, and no more painful and expensive surgery to sort it all out for you. No antibiotics that slaughter your already tired immune system. This is just a convenient and easy remedy to use, which means you don't have to go making an expensive and time-consuming doctor appointments. Or you don't have to go down the drugstore discussing your embarrassing problems with strangers. It's just a small bottle of a thick, clear, oily herbal fluid. And it's a bottle that's so small it'll easily fit unnoticed into your pocket or your purse. You can dab a few drops onto your piercing 4 times a day, keeping your piercing fresh and clean and pain-free. Now, I plan to launch the remedy called Piercing Doctor with advertising, fancy packaging and sending it out to a small network of distributors. But I never got the chance. What happened was, word quickly spread about the fantastic results I was getting with Piercing Doctor. Now, patients were turning up without an appointment, and even herbalists were coming here demanding I make it for their clients. Well, I couldn't do it, and it wasn't so simple. You see, it's not enough to know what the herbs are, you've got to get the best ones. And the only organic myrrh which consistently stopped the piercing infection comes from the Middle East or Somalia. Now, in these war-torn, struggling times, can you imagine how hard it is to import a shipment of herbs from the Middle East or Somalia? To say my ingredient supply is fragile is a little understated. However, right now I did get enough to make 3 batches. And I've made the batches now. I've made them by hand myself. I've measured and weighed and mixed the ingredients. I've blended the ingredients myself. I've checked everything. So don't worry about that. The Piercing Doctor remedies that I make are of the highest quality. Now, I've handed over 2 of the batches to my trusted friend, Emma Williams. So if you have a piercing infection, then I strongly suggest that you get this remedy from Emma. It's called Piercing Doctor, and you get it before her supplies run out and before you end up needing surgery. Now, I want you to know this remedy packs a wallop. You'll suddenly feel your piercing improving. Within just a few hours, you'll know something's changed, and that is your piercing getting better. But you've got to hurry. You see, I normally only give this remedy to my personal clients and fellow herbalists, and that's it. I've never committed a single batch of Piercing Doctor to anyone else before. Now, Emma's begged me not to let the other herbalists or online stores know what we were up to till she had the stock. Well, she's got the stock now, and it is going faster than we both anticipated. So, if you mess around or you order late, you may miss out. If you've got a piercing infection, that would be a horrible mistake. So don't let that happen. If you use this, the result will be you will have a healthy piercing where the skin is free of bacteria and free of infection. That's it, that's what you want. Have a good look at the testimonials below and see how this remedy has helped many men and many women across the country to get rid of their piercing infection fast. Now, it may be that you've got a few reservations or seeds of doubt, and that's fair enough, because after all, you don't know me, we don't know each other. So let me put your mind at rest so that you can experience the Piercing Doctor remedy for yourself. You can try the Piercing Doctor remedy to your heart's content for the next 90 days, completely risk-free. You don't risk a single penny trying this remedy for yourself. You've got a complete 90-day, unconditional, 100% money-back guarantee. But the clear and simple truth of it is this. This remedy, it's a breakthrough. So what I'm saying, if it doesn't quickly and easily get rid of your piercing infection, then send it back. Or if you're not completely satisfied with anything at all, in any way at all, about anything, then I insist you send this remedy back to Emma, in any condition, and she will personally make sure that you get a fast and full refund of every penny you paid for the remedy. No questions asked, no hassles, and you can even keep that full set of health books as my thank you for just trying the remedy. And you have my word on that. Okay, so how much will this piercing infection remedy cost you? Well, I normally charge my clients $200 for the appointment here, plus $170 for the remedy, because it is handmade and it is organic and it does work. But because you don't have to have an appointment with me, and we're not using my offices, we're not using my staff, we're not using everything else, I've agreed with Emma to give you a 50% discount on the remedy. That means that you can get your piercing doctor remedy for just $87 and $5 shipping. That means you're going to save over $280. And plus, Emma's literally manhandled me into giving you an additional gift of a free set of books, some bonus health books, and they're valued at $127. And they're going to the first 100 people who take the remedy. Now you can see the details of the books below, but those books are worth more than the cost of the remedy. So, I mean, this is new to me. This is the first time I've done an offer to the public like this. Usually it's just my clients and herbalists. Now, $87, it's less than the price of a course of antibiotics, and we know what they do. $87, it's less than the price of a visit to your doctor, and it's definitely less than the price of having the surgery that you might end up needing unless you get your infection sorted. So order your remedy right now, while Emma still has the stock and whilst you're still on the page. So simply click on the link below and Emma will look after you. And if you have any questions about piercing infection or piercing infection remedy, I'll be glad to help you. Okay, you can write to me at any time. I'm here to help you. So click on the link below and Emma will get your remedy in the post to you today. All right, thanks very much. Bye for now.